it's just a 2-pence coin from 2006, or is it a forgotten treasure hiding in your pocket? Worth far more than face value, get ready to discover the shocking secrets behind the 2006 2-pence coin and why collectors are now on the hunt. The year 2006 marked an interesting chapter in the history of the United Kingdom coinage, and among the coins that circulated that year, the 2-pence coin stood out not for its value at the time, but for what it represents in the evolution of British currency. The 2-pence coin was originally introduced in 1971 during the decimalisation process, when the British monetary system transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, and pence format to the new decimal system. Under this new system, £1 was divided into 100 pence, and the 2-pence coin was created to occupy a unique and useful denomination between the penny and the 5-pence piece. By 2006, the 2-pence coin had already been in circulation for 35 years, but during this period, subtle changes in composition design and minting trends revealed insights into the economic priorities and cultural values of the United Kingdom. The 2006 version of the coin featured a copper-plated steel composition, which replaced the original bronze alloy used between 1971 and 1991. The switch to steel began in 1992 in response to rising metal costs, and reflects how even small denominations were affected by global commodity prices. The cost of minting coins could not outweigh their face value for long, and so the Royal Mint made the strategic decision to shift toward more affordable metals. The obverse of the 2006 2-pence coin continued to display the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, specifically the fourth definitive portrait sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. This design was introduced in 1998 and remained on British coins until 2015. It depicted the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, facing right with an inscription encircling the portrait which read, Elizabeth II de Gratia, Regina Fid, Def. This Latin inscription translates to, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen Defender of the Faith. The inclusion of such phrases reminds us of the long-standing tradition of royal symbolism on currency, which serves not only a legal function, but also reinforces national identity and continuity through the reigns of monarchs. The reverse of the 2006 2-pence coin continued the design originally created by Christopher Ironside, which featured the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers within a coronet above a ribbon bearing the motto, Ish Dien, which translates to I serve. This design has historical roots tracing back to the 14th century and was adopted by Edward the Black Prince. Its use on the coin links modern Britain to centuries of royal heraldry and noble duty, and it remained in use until the coinage redesign in 2008, which replaced heraldic imagery with segments of the royal shield across multiple denominations. Although millions of 2-pence coins were minted in 2006 and the coin remains common in circulation, its importance lies in the broader context of British monetary history. Coinage is not just about trade and exchange, but also about symbolism, politics, and economy. Examining the minting volumes, design choices, and material composition of a single year, like 2006, helps us understand the challenges faced by the Royal Mint and the government during a time of evolving fiscal policies and global economic pressures. For instance, the Royal Mint reported that due to the lower demand for smaller denomination coins in the mid-2000s, production volumes varied significantly, year to year, responding to market needs and commercial demand. Some collectors seek specific year variants or coins with minting errors, and while the 2006 2-pence coin is not typically among the rarest, it has been found in collections and accumulations of minor coins, with potential for high-quality examples, especially those in mint state condition. The red luster of freshly struck copper-plated steel coins is appealing, and high-grade specimens are often submitted for grading by numismatic institutions such as NGC or PCGs. The value of such coins can increase if they are found with full detail, no contact marks, and bright original color. It is also worth noting that during the mid-2000s, interest in coin collecting was on the rise in the United Kingdom. thanks in part to widespread educational initiatives, historical programming, and the increased visibility of the Royal Mint online, and through television shows. This led to more individuals scrutinizing their pocket change and examining coins like the 2006 2p for errors or rare varieties. Sometimes errors such as misaligned dies, clipped planchets, or off-center strikes could create demand among collectors, even in denominations that were otherwise considered common. The historical significance of the 2p coin also comes into sharper focus when we look at its role in everyday life. Coins like the 2p are heavily circulated, used in shops, vending machines, and transport systems, and their wear tells the story of millions of transactions, interactions, and daily exchanges in a bustling modern economy. Yet over time, physical currency faces new challenges. Digital payments, contactless cards, and mobile apps have begun replacing coins in many everyday situations, and questions have arisen about the long-term viability of small denomination coins as inflation erodes their purchasing power. Nonetheless, in 2006, the 2p coin remained fully integrated into the national economy and was still widely used by the public, a symbol of continuity in a changing world. Its legacy is preserved by collectors, historians, and everyday people who remember the feel of the coin in their hand or the jingle of it in a pocket. The act of collecting such coins brings people closer to their history and often sparks curiosity about royal traditions, the art of minting, and the stories behind the imagery. The 2006 2p coin serves as a gateway to these broader topics, a single small object loaded with significance and value beyond its monetary worth. In schools across the United Kingdom, coins like the 2006 2p were often used in teaching children about currency math and value. These educational roles underscore the utility of coins not only as tools of commerce, but as tangible aids in learning and growth for young minds. Similarly, museums and numismatic institutions showcase everyday coins to highlight how currency design reflects the priorities of the state and the evolution of national identity over centuries. By looking closely at the 2006 2p coin, we see not only a continuation of established design and production trends, but also the tail end of an era. Before sweeping changes arrived in British coinage just 2 years later in 2008, the Royal Mint would unveil a radically modernized coinage design by Matthew Dent, featuring segments of the royal coat of arms that would span coins from the 1p to the 50p piece. This redesign marked a new chapter for British coins and made coins like the 2006 2p one of the last to bear the original heraldic imagery of the 20th century. Coin values fluctuate over time, and while the 2006 2p coin may currently be worth only face value in circulation, its potential as a collectible remains. Its value is measured not only in currency, but in historical interest, aesthetic appeal, and the deeper connections it offers to the past for coin collectors who seek to build year sets or document the evolution of British coinage from 1971 to the present. Each annual issue, including 2006, holds a necessary place and contributes to the story of how the United Kingdom shaped and adapted its monetary system in the face of social, economic, and political change. Thus, the 2006 2p coin is more than just copper-plated steel. It is a snapshot of a moment in time, a piece of living history, and a reminder that even the smallest denomination can carry immense historical weight as it passes through countless hands, each with its own story, its own purpose, its own part in the grand narrative of modern Britain. What if the humble 2001 2p coin you forgot in your drawer is actually worth a small fortune? Discover the hidden truth behind this overlooked British coin that could be your unexpected gold mine. The story of the 2001 2p coin begins with a simple piece of copper-plated steel that hides a complex journey of currency evolution, economic decisions, metal shortages, minting innovations, and unexpected rarity in circulation. As we dive into the world of British coins, the 2001 2p piece stands as a curious yet vital symbol of a nation undergoing change and monetary refinement, starting with its origin in the decimalization process of the United Kingdom, which began in 1971. The 2 pence coin emerged as part of a new decimal coinage that replaced the traditional pounds, shillings, and pence system. This major shift in UK currency was not just about math, but about modernizing the British economy, simplifying trade, and aligning with global monetary standards. The first 2 pence coin was struck in bronze, featuring the crowned portcullis design by Christopher Ironside, a design that symbolized strength, authority, and government under the monarchy for decades. This design stood unchanged, becoming a familiar sight in the pockets and purses of the British public. However, by the late 1990s and early 2000s, changes began to take shape due to economic needs and metal resource concerns. In 1992, the Royal Mint shifted from bronze to copper-plated steel for the 2 pence coin due to rising metal costs. This change was subtle to the eye but significant to collectors, as earlier coins remained heavier and non-magnetic, while the new steel versions could be detected with a magnet. The 2001 2 pence coin is made of copper-plated steel, weighs around 710 grams, has a diameter of 256 millimeters, and features the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley. The obverse is characterized by a mature regal depiction of the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, while the reverse still displayed the classic portcullis design before the 2008 redesign, which introduced the shield segment motif. By 2001, the 2 pence coin was already a common feature in circulation. Yet this year holds unique importance for collectors, due to several factors including mintage quantity, production, consistency, and its placement in the larger narrative of UK coinage during this time. The Royal Mint issued millions of 2 pence coins, but compared to other years, the mintage was slightly lower for general circulation, standing around 319 million, which sounds abundant but is less when compared to high mintage years like 1971 or 1981. Furthermore, 2001 is a year that marked the transition phase where older bronze coins began to noticeably disappear from everyday use and were being replaced by the newer magnetic versions. This affected not only circulation but also the public perception of coin quality. And collectors note that the steel-based 2 pence coins of 2001 often develop different toning and corrosion patterns compared to bronze versions, making high-grade uncirculated examples harder to preserve, especially after 2 decades. Another critical point lies in the proof and brilliant uncirculated sets. The 2001 2 pence coin was also minted in specially packaged collector sets, which were never intended for general use. These versions, struck with higher precision and careful handling, have since become desirable among numismatists looking for pristine examples. They show mirror-like finishes, sharp details, and have been stored away from circulation damage over time. Many of these sets have been broken apart, and the coins sold individually, which adds to the mystery and challenge of finding complete original packs. In addition to its physical and historical aspects, the 2 pence coin of 2001 also lives in the cultural memory of many British citizens, being part of countless everyday transactions found in jars, vending machines, arcade games, and school canteens. These humble coins carried snacks, stamps, and stories for a generation who saw coins not as collectibles but as everyday essentials. This adds a layer of nostalgia that drives collectors to seek specific years, especially those tied to personal memories, school milestones, or family events. And for those born in 2001 or marking anniversaries, the coin takes on a personal resonance, further raising its sentimental and collectible value. A curious feature of the 2001 2 pence coin is the consistent presence of die alignment, which refers to how well the front and back images align. When flipped improper, die alignment is rare and can be an error that boosts value. However, for this year, the coins were consistently minted within standard tolerance, showing the high quality of production the Royal Mint upheld despite the economic pressures of the era. Even though no major errors were widely recorded for 2001, this has ironically increased interest in finding an exception. Collectors constantly scan for possible mules, off-center strikes, doubling on the date or lettering, or plancher flaws that could command higher premiums on the secondary market. The value of a 2001 2 pence coin depends heavily on its condition, packaging, and context. While circulated examples are generally worth face value, unless in pristine condition, or part of a rare variant uncirculated, and proof, versions especially graded by professional agencies can sell for several pounds, depending on demand. As coin collecting grows across social media and online marketplaces, more attention is turned to modern coins with unique stories, and 2001 stands as a benchmark year that bridges the old designs and materials with a new digital age of currency awareness. Beyond Britain, the 2p coin has gained recognition in global collecting communities, especially in former Commonwealth nations where British coinage holds educational and historical significance. Coin fairs around the world often showcase UK decimal coins, and the 2001 2p finds its way into foreign collections not because of rarity, but due to its iconic representation of British monetary identity. And for new collectors, it serves as an entry point into numismatics, being affordable, yet filled with rich context. Over the years, this coin has been studied, referenced in collector guides, and featured in coin hunting videos across platforms like YouTube, where enthusiasts search for coins with value errors, or simply for fun. The 2001 2p coin has appeared in countless lists of coins to look out for, though not always for its value, but for its position in the timeline of British coinage. Its existence reminds us of how everyday items can quietly carry immense history, and how simple design choices reflect deeper national transitions. To conclude, the 2001 2p coin is more than a coppery disc. It is a vessel of economic adaptation, minting strategy, and social memory. Its creation was driven by cost efficiency, its design was rooted in tradition, and its current value reflects the dynamic world of coin collecting. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, this coin offers an accessible, yet compelling, journey through British history, and it deserves a place in any serious discussion about modern coinage. The next time you see a 2p coin from 2001, take a closer look. It might not just be pocket change, it might be a portal into the rich legacy of a nation, its people, and its money. The 1916 one-dime coin hides a story of American pride, wartime scarcity, and unimaginable value with just one letter. This dime becomes a millionaire's dream. Discover why collectors hunt it like buried treasure, and how one tiny silver coin changed numismatic history forever. The year was 1916. America stood on the brink of transformation, with the world engulfed in war, and the economy shifting rapidly. Coinage became more than just currency. It became a reflection of national identity. The one-dime coin minted in that pivotal year would come to represent more than its small size, suggested the Mercury dime, as it was affectionately known due to its depiction of liberty, wearing a winged cap symbolizing freedom of thought, was actually a masterpiece designed by Adolphe Weinman, replacing the barber dime, which had been in circulation since 1892. The Mercury dime was part of a broader movement to beautify American coinage, following the influence of President Theodore Roosevelt, who believed that coins should represent the greatness of the nation in design and symbolism. The obverse of the coin featured liberty with wings on her cap, while the reverse bore a fasce as a bundle of rods symbolizing unity and strength, along with an olive branch representing peace. It was a delicate balance between power and harmony, crafted with care and artistry, but while the design caught public attention, it was the 1916 Mercury dime, minted in Denver, that became one of the rarest and most sought-after coins in American numismatic history. Only a fraction of these coins were produced, a mere 264,000, compared to the millions produced at other mints due to the late start in production at the Denver Mint and high demand for coinage. Most of the dimes that year came from Philadelphia and San Francisco, leaving the 1916 dime as a key date in the Mercury series. Collectors quickly realized its rarity, and over time its value skyrocketed from mere cents to tens of thousands of dollars, and even beyond, depending on condition and authenticity. The 1916 dime became a legendary piece, especially when in mint state condition. It was small but mighty, a silent witness to the American spirit of resilience and artistry. During a transformative time, As we dive into the rich history of this coin, we must understand the context in which it was born. The United States in 1916 was still neutral in World War I, but the pressures of global conflict were looming. Industries were booming, the population was growing, and the need for coinage was ever increasing. The U.S. Mint operated multiple facilities including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with Philadelphia being the largest and primary production site. But each mint had its own role and challenges. The Denver Mint especially had limited capacity and was often late in starting coin production for the year. Hence the late and limited mintage of the Mercury dime in Denver, that year making the 1916 D issue extraordinarily rare. Over the years, many counterfeit versions appeared in the market, some altered, from 1945 dimes to mimic the 1916 D. So collectors and experts rely on specific diagnostics to authenticate genuine coins, including the position of the mint mark and the details in Liberty's features, when examining a real 1916 D Mercury dime under magnification. You will notice the D mint mark located to the left of the faces on the reverse and specific characteristics in the font and placement that cannot be faked easily. Numismatists have studied these details meticulously, establishing clear guides to detect authenticity. The coin community treats the 1916 D dime with reverence, as it represents not only rarity and value, but also a period in history where art and utility intersected to create lasting legacy. The value of this coin varies significantly based on its condition. For instance, a well-circulated version might fetch several $1,000s, while an uncirculated mint state example can command prices upwards of $50,000 to over $100,000. Auction records show astonishing results when a high-grade specimen surfaces. The story of the 1916 D dime is also deeply tied to the legacy of Adolphe Weinman, whose design became iconic. His initials IO are subtly placed on the coin, and his work extended beyond coinage, as he was also known for monumental sculptures throughout the United States. As we explore the full from 1916 to 1945, we see how this coin served Americans during pivotal events, including both World Wars, the Great Depression, and the Roaring Twenties. It remained in pockets, purses, and cash drawers for decades, and its elegant design made it one of the most beloved coins ever produced. The composition of the dime during that era was 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it intrinsic value, even beyond numismatics. The weight was 2.5 grams with a diameter of 17.9 millimeters. It had a reeded edge and a brilliant finish when struck freshly from the dies. Over time, these features wear with circulation, but collectors value even worn versions, especially if they carry the coveted 1916 D mint mark beyond its physical features. The 1916 Mercury dime carries cultural and historical weight. It was used in daily commerce for basic necessities. It passed from hand to hand during a century of immense change, and it found its place in coin albums, collections, and investment portfolios around the globe. Coin grading services like PCGs and NGC have graded thousands of Mercury dimes, but only a limited number of 1916 D examples exist in top condition, making each discovery or auction event a newsworthy moment for collectors. Young and old stories abound of lucky finds in estate sales, old coin jars, and family inheritances, where someone unknowingly possessed a small fortune. In the form of this little silver dime, the passion surrounding Mercury dimes, especially the 1916 D, has also sparked educational efforts among coin clubs, youth groups, and museums to preserve the history of American coinage and share the stories behind the metal. The Mercury dime series ended in 1945 with the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt and the transition to the Roosevelt dime series, but the legacy of the Mercury dime endures, and its first year, the 1916 especially. The 1916 D will forever be etched in the hearts of those who understand its meaning. Rarity and beauty. This coin tells a story of craftsmanship, economy, and the human desire to preserve pieces of history through metal art. Its market continues to evolve as more people become aware of its significance, and with time its scarcity will only increase. especially for high-grade certified pieces, making it a centerpiece in any serious collection and a dream coin for those beginning their journey in numismatics. The tale of the 1916 Mercury dime is not just about silver or scarcity. It is about what we value as a society. It is about how something so small can carry such immense history and meaning. It is about how American coinage has captured the spirit of a nation, and how one dime struck over a century ago still speaks volumes today. 1948 half-dollar coin hiding a secret value. This one coin can change your life forever. Only true collectors know why. In the year 1948, the world was still healing from the wounds of the Second World War, and America was entering a new era of growth and transformation. And during this time, one of the most iconic and historically rich coins emerged into circulation. The 1948 half-dollar coin, minted in the United States of America, holds immense historical and numismatic significance, and stands today as a testament to the artistry, monetary policies, and patriotic spirit of post-war America. The coin that would begin the Benjamin Franklin half-dollar series was more than a 50-cent piece. It was the beginning of a legacy that continues to captivate collectors, investors, and historians around the world. To understand the origin of the 1948 half-dollar, we must go back to the vision of John R. Synock, the chief engraver of the United States Mint, who first conceptualized the idea of honoring Benjamin Franklin, one of the most influential founding fathers, with his own coin. Franklin had never appeared on circulating American coinage before, despite his monumental contributions to science, politics, and diplomacy. The United States Mint, under the direction of Nellie Taylor Ross, who was the first female director of the Mint, pushed for a new design that would break away from the traditional figures of liberty and eagles, and instead showcase the face of true American intellect and innovation. The front of the coin, known as the obverse, features a striking profile of Benjamin Franklin facing right. The word liberty arches above his head, and the date 1948 is clearly displayed below his image. The motto, "In God We Trust," appears to his left in bold, simple letters. This design was intended to evoke both dignity and simplicity, reflecting Franklin's nature and principles unlike many previous designs. This coin did not romanticize liberty as a goddess or mythical figure. It grounded patriotism in real history and human achievement. The reverse side of the coin is equally significant. It displays the iconic Liberty Bell, a symbol closely associated with American independence and the city of Philadelphia. The bell is centered and detailed with remarkable realism. The crack in the bell is clearly visible, which sparked some initial criticism from Treasury officials who thought it might be misinterpreted as a damaged coin. However, this was precisely the point. The Mint intended to honor the real historical object. As it was imperfections, and all to the right of the bell is a small eagle required by law on all half-dollar coins at the time. Although it appears secondary to the bell, this eagle was a nod to tradition and federal requirement, not to symbolic dominance. The minting of the 1948 half-dollar took place at two main facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark and produced a higher quantity, while the Denver Mint used a small D, located above the bell on the reverse side. This simple marking would later make a massive difference in value, as certain low mintage years and mint errors significantly increased rarity and collector interest. The metal composition of the coin was 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it both intrinsic and collectible value. It weighed 12.5 grams and measured 30.6 millimeters in diameter. This precious metal content would later become a key factor in its rising value, particularly after the silver coinage era ended in 1964. The coin was widely circulated during the post-war boom of the late 40s and 50s, becoming a staple of American currency, and often used for savings gifts and even graduation presents. Beyond its physical characteristics, the 1948 half-dollar represents the beginning of a coin series that would run until 1963, just before the assassination of John F. Kennedy, which led to the replacement of the Franklin design with the Kennedy half-dollar. The Benjamin Franklin series became the last regular issue silver coin to bear a non-presidential figure until much later. This fact alone adds to its significance in American numismatic history. Over the decades, certain specimens of the 1948 half dollar have gained legendary status among collectors, for instance, coins in mint. State 65 or higher are extremely rare, especially with full bell lines, meaning the horizontal lines at the base of the Liberty Bell are fully struck and visible. These full bell line examples command high premiums at auction and are considered a mark of exceptional quality and care in production. In fact, a 1948 D half dollar with full bell lines in pristine condition has sold for thousands of dollars in public auctions, setting records for early Franklin series coins. Errors and varieties also make this coin fascinating. Some known minting anomalies include double die obverse and reverse examples, planchet issues, and reading anomalies, while not as common as later dates. These errors provide tremendous value and are highly sought after by advanced collectors. The subtle differences between proofs on circulated coins and circulated examples contribute to the complexity of the market and the challenge of building a complete and high-grade set of Franklin half dollars. The cultural legacy of the 1948 half dollar cannot be overstated. It was the first American coin to honor a non-presidential founder and emphasized intellect and civic contribution over military heroism or executive leadership. This was a profound choice in a post-war America, looking to rebuild its identity around peace, progress, and enlightenment. Franklin, as a writer, diplomat, scientist, and statesman, embodied those ideals, and the coin bearing his likeness became a quiet tribute to those values in every transaction. Today, collectors seek the 1948 half dollar, not only for its silver content, but for its artistry, symbolism, and place in American monetary history. It continues to serve as a popular entry point for new numismatists and a cornerstone of serious collections. Prices vary widely depending on grade, mint mark, and strike detail, from modest amounts for circulated coins to significant sums for gem-quality examples with full bell lines. The coin also serves as an educational tool, often used to teach students and young collectors about American history, economics, and design. Moreover, the rise in silver prices and interest in tangible assets has driven increased demand for early silver coinage, making the 1948 half dollar a wise investment, as well as a historical artifact. It appears regularly in estate auctions, coin shows, and private sales, and often sparks conversations about the role of money in shaping national identity and personal memory. Its presence in pop culture is limited, but meaningful, appearing occasionally in films and shows that reference the mid-20th century. In conclusion, the 1948 half dollar stands at the intersection of art, politics, history, and economics. It marks the beginning of one of the most iconic coin series in American history, and honors a man whose contributions shaped the nation in countless ways. Whether you are a beginner or an expert collector, owning a piece of this legacy offers more than just metal value. It provides a tangible connection to the past and a window into a time when every coin told a story of ambition, courage, and national pride. The story of the 1948 half dollar continues to grow with every generation as new collectors discover its value, and new historians uncover deeper meaning behind its design choices and historical context. It is more than just a 50-cent piece. It is a symbol of American ingenuity and perseverance. And for those who understand its full significance, it is a treasure beyond price.